Masters and Grandmasters, please stand up. Chariot, Kayo, Kunye. Burrow. Burrow. Masters, please take your seat. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the United World Taekwondo Association's 57th Black Belt Awards ceremony. My name is Master Debbie Lovis, National Vice President of Examinations and Promotions. Allow me to introduce our Chief Masters and Grandmasters. UWTA Secretary Chief Master Jack Corey. UWTA Executive Vice Chief Master Willie Rankins. UWTA Chief Executive Officer Grandmaster Clinton Jr. UWTA Founder Grandmaster Zhang Quan Li. Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you to graduating class number 57, Spring Testers of 2020 Belt Ceremony. Along your journey to Black Belt, you learn a lot about yourself, life in general, and what your Black Belt means to you personally. One portion of your test is to reflect on your path and write about your experiences. Every year we choose 2 students to share their experience with you. Our first testimonial will be read by Mahik Chauhan.
What Black Belt Means to Me by Mahik Chauhan. To me, Black Belt symbolizes the start of a new journey and end of another. In all the months that I have been to Taekwondo, I have worked very hard, pushing myself of becoming a Black Belt. Taekwondo has been a part of my life ever since I joined. Belts White to Recommended was a step which prepared me for the next journey, which is Black Belt, and I am ready for a challenge. I got knowledge, power, and I was disciplined while learning Taekwondo. Learning Taekwondo doesn't mean I know a few moves, but it means that through this journey I have become a strong and disciplined person. My goal is to build leadership skills after I become a Black Belt first dan. The 5 tenets of Taekwondo had become an important part of my life. After joining Taekwondo, I have become more courteous and I am polite. I have learned to always be honest and take responsibility for my actions. I have also learned to offer help to others and put their needs before my own needs. I have learned I have learned to become a more determined person, and I do not let anyone stop me from achieving my goal. Perseverance is very important in life because most people would not make it in life without it. It has given me stronger moral principles and has made me a more respectable person. I have learned to make positive decisions with a lot of confidence. Self-control has taught me to not eat junk food and make healthy choices. I have learned to understand my own weaknesses and control them. Self-control and self-discipline has helped me to focus on what the teacher is teaching in school. I have become more determined and confident to face challenges. After Taekwondo, I feel no fear of embarrassment and rejection. I feel that I have the ability to succeed in whatever I do. My indomitable spirit is what helps me set and achieve my goals. I have learned that it doesn't matter how many times I fail, but how many times I get back up and try again. My Taekwondo journey turned me into a martial artist, and I love it. A martial art is more than an ability to punch and kick. It is a way of life, a path, something that I have become. It's more than skill. It takes heart. Getting a black belt is a part of my journey, a journey that will never end. The black belt is what I make of it. It is simply just an object that shows on the outside that I am a black belt. What I am on the inside is what truly makes me a black belt. You cannot buy a Taekwondo black belt. You must earn it by using your training, your skill, your heart, and brain. I know deep inside that is who I am, and that is who I want to be and will be for the rest of my life. I've persevered throughout my journey because I want to learn. Thank you.
Next testimonial will be read by Jackie Armstrong.
On paper, I shouldn't be a black belt. In addition to being born with a rare metabolic disorder that causes a buildup of ketones and lactic acid if I'm not multiple hospitalizations when I was little, I was born with a nonverbal learning disability and autism. It affects my social skill, reasoning, balance and coordination, and my ability to tell my left and right. The lactic acid condition also left me with low muscle tone. Born fighting. I fought to survive every medical crisis as a kid. I fought to be included in a regular class in school. I fought the low muscle tone to learn to ride a bike. I fought isolation to go out and meet people and develop friends. My whole life, I had a Taekwondo spirit. I just didn't know it yet. January 2016, I joined the studio martial arts and fitness. Because of the lactic acid disorder, I was afraid to exercise, worried that it put me over the edge after a fateful hike that I overdid, and it took a lot of sugar to keep me out of the hospital. But I knew something needed to change. I was obese, a couch potato. I was still a little bit nervous. I was afraid if I tried hanging out with people without disabilities, I'd be ostracized or bullied like I had in school. But I was taken in by the fact that I'd also be with others rather than being the only adult. Being the superhero nerd, I was also taken in by the superhero painting on the wall in the lobby. The moment I set foot in the studio, my life changed for the better. I was taken in by everyone and made tons upon tons of friends and acquaintances. I developed some coordination and actually began to feel graceful and tough. The big thing that changed that year was my job, and Taekwondo had everything to do with that. I had a sheltered workshop, a job center for people with disabilities. A good portion of my time working there was spent making well below minimum wage. I began to think to myself, well, if I fit in at Taekwondo, why don't I try working somewhere else? I'd probably fit in there too. My Taekwondo spirit came fighting back as the agency told me I wasn't ready to work in the community. I now work at SMUD and have been working there for over 3 years, and I couldn't be happier. I also began to develop self-esteem. It was so low it barely existed. I began to look in the mirror and see a smart, fierce woman. I began to look forward to all the poomsays and kicking. I used to kick very low to my kneecaps. Now I kick very high. I struggled a lot with motor planning, but constant working with my body to different poomsays, my motor studio years before. About 2 years ago, I booked a close mentorship that used music to teach me how to remember my poomsays for my black belt test. I also decided that I was going to and meet the setup requirements for my black belt test. I worked after class every chance I got. I used that Taekwondo spirit. The mentorship my mentor to begin leading and teaching at the studio, and she will always have a place in my heart. When I think of exercising now, I don't feel afraid anymore because it means I get to hang out with all my studio peeps. On paper, I shouldn't be a black belt, but I am. I was a black belt all along. I just didn't know it yet. The studio brought it out of me. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you both for sharing your experiences. Chief Master Corey will be explaining the knighting of candidates.
Next, Grandmaster Lee will demonstrate the knighting process of UWTA black belts. This process is an age-old process of transfer of power to the new black belt, along with the sharing of his personal Taekwondo. As a black belt, each student will be expected to go forth and do positive things with their life and newfound Taekwondo.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Pranav Sudarshan, Taylor Jane De La Cruz, Taj Hawkins, Phil, Brooks Henderson, Jameson Johnson, Jordan Liu, Jackson Verling, Duck, Jackson Blake, Messiah Nuri, Sarah Ayala, Jackson Skeltsy, Amaton, Jacob Quinajon, Yusuf Khan, Mahik Chauhan, Nashikita Ravel, Marian Mallory, Raul Perez, Hartaj Sangha, Emily Arliano, Olivia Richter, Howland, Brett Burback, Alexa Arpaccio, Mario Amaton, Aurora Etrick, Alexander Sloss, Keaton Gross. David Osorio Rogel. Nevaeh Taylor. Victoria Chavira. Brookard. Blake Vang. Emma Brown. Jameson Walker Schwartzel. Ayush Sani. Evan Barrett. Claire Arteski. Yasin Idrissi. Bargov Kapalu. Isaiah Yusuf Parwani. Jaden Skeltzy. Andrei Yarmilovich. Berkeley Gross. Moksha Ravel. Orion Phillips. Karthik Surpida. Sudeep Majumder. Bart Kernan III. Brianna Kernan. Stephanie Manthe. Troy Gold. Aaron Larson. Leah Duck. Carol Kane Hom. Stephen Hall. Dina Peterson. Nancy Flagg. Jacob Chang. Suhani Shah. Tay Katra. Avery Chang. Nora Yarlagada. Samuel Siebel. Ian Marmot. Robert Matzler. Pond Pham. Valentine Rodriguez. Kate McGinnis. Bryson Varia. Curtis Riley. Dana Toe. Paula Rodriguez. Spencer Wright. Shrudish. Adarsh Krishnamurthy. Kalea Chand. Scott Whitby. Jacqueline Armstrong. Yeah. Ria Katra. Nathan Nguyen. Isabella Ochoa Yepes. Chase Kiley. Brents. Derek Waddell. Dahlia Scott. Ramon Serrano. Brooke Chang. Heather Hughes. Donna Johnson. Daniel Lee. Charlotte Southworth. Charles Sarenbetz. Lauren Pace. Alex Serrano. Swea Park. Diego Sandoval. Nadizhda Zatsiva. Patrick Hanley. Christian Myber. Huck Myberg. Ludwig Schultz. Jack Adams. David Wagay. Joseph Suski. Mia Withington. Haima Vedantam. Marcia Nay. Suni Tersh. Miko Cooper. Luke Jockey. Ethan Johnson. Nick Sadawi. Tyrone Anoop.
Grandmaster Lee and Grandmaster Robinson will now read the UWTA oath in Korean and English.
일조 여러분을 무술 유단자에게 부여되는 책임과 권리 및 특권을 명예스럽고 존경하는 마음으로 받아들입니까? 그리고 또한 정직, 성실, 겸손함의 정신규범에 따라 생활하며 이를 실천하면 모범이 될 것을 엄숙히 서약하는 바입니다.
UWTA Oath. Article number 1. I accept with honor and respect abilities, rights, and privileges bestowed upon achievement of the black belt rank in martial arts. I do hereby solemnly swear to live by and demonstrate the honesty, integrity, humility, self-control, and indomitable spirit.
제2조 여러분은 무술 진정한 정신을 존중하는 마음에서 여러분의 사범과 도장에 대해 불변의 충성과 아낌없는 후원을 후원합니다. 여러분은 가장 전통적인 무술인 태권도의 사절로서 약자와 무고한 자들을 지키고 보호하며 사랑할 것이며 정의를 실천하여 협동과 건강에 증진할 것을 약속하는 바입니다.
Honoring with martial art to defend and protect the weak and innocent, practice truth, love, and promote cooperation, peace, and health.
제3조 여러분은 겸손과 감사하는 마음으로 배우고 가르치며 여러분의 마음과 육체 및 정신의 성장에 최고의 경지에 이르도록 노력하고 훈련할 때 성공할 수 있음을 하며 여러분의 사범과 본인이 훈련한 과정에서 배운 것을 타인과 함께 나누면서 지도할 것을 서약하는 바입니다.
I further pledge with unselfish humility and gratitude to learn, teach, and continue my mental, physical, and spiritual growth to the highest level, to lead by illustrating the oneness of training the body, mind, and spirit to succeed, and by sharing what I have learned through my example and training with others.
여러분은 고명하신 종합세계 태권도 협회 집행위원들 앞에서 능력을 시범하고 유단자 선수를 마쳤으며 캘리포니아주 로스베어 소재 종합세계 태권도 협회 본부 주간의 태권도 유단자 자격을 취득하였습니다. 권장 이정.
Having demonstrated to the distinguished members of the UWTA Executive Council a high level of competence, have taken the earned a degree black belt in the art of Taekwondo, under the authority and auspices of the United World Taekwondo Association, with headquarters in the city of Roseville in the state of California. Signed by Grandmaster Jungwon Lee.
It is a ceremonial tradition to toast to your success as newly anointed black belts. In staying with tradition, we will also use the Korean word for cheers. Please raise your glasses. Please repeat after me. Gonbae. Grandmaster Robinson would like to share a few words.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you. And I always look forward to the ceremonies. And one reason I expect to them is it reminds me of achieving black belt for the first time myself. You know, it's an experience I'll never forget. And I'm sure this will be an experience that you'll never forget. You've tested under a different time. We're in a different situation here. Something new for all of us. But it allows us an opportunity to grow and change. All challenges provide for growth, and we're certainly experiencing that now. This is the first time we've ever done a virtual black belt ceremony, and I'm excited to be a part of this. And I'd really like to thank the support of the students, the support of all the UWTA instructors, all the families that are involved in helping us make this a successful event, or actually in making the UWTA a successful organization. And I'd like to encourage you to stay strong during these times. I mean, now is the time in and commit to moving forward. I mean, whatever rank you're achieving, it's kind of a stepping stone. Okay, it doesn't stop here. The journey is not over. It's often said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. In fact, we've all taken many steps. Some of us have taken more than 1,000 steps. And I'd just like to express to you that I'm feeling or the same level of excitement today as I did when I made my first Dan black belt in 1969. I mean, I think certain words become normal or standard to express things. And in today's world, it seems like there's a lot of emphasis on this thing called mindset. And you know, that's it's not a new word. It's something that kind of utilized by a lot of people these days to attract attention. I'd like to suggest that perhaps you change that word to something called outlook, because outlook basically is how you see things. And I like to see you see yourself as continuing to grow in Taekwondo in general. And during this pandemic, act as if things were in fact normal, because at some point they will be. So it's your outlook. What do you anticipate happening as we move forward? And we will all forward successfully through this. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I'll see you there. Thank you.
Throughout their Taekwondo journey and supporting them here tonight. Grandmasters, please stand. Chariot. Kunye.